And so once again, we love to say welcome to the US-based Focus on Liberia online television. This time around, we are live from the headquarters of the National Elections Commission, where the opposition Liberty Party will again present another petition to the NEC. As I speak to you, we have scores of senior partisans of the Liberty Party here present, as what the political leader in persons of Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence minutes ago, and I'm told she's waiting to be ushered in to present another petition for this end. And so welcome from just wherever you are joining us, whatever you're doing. The pleasure is mine to say good morning and welcome to Focus on Liberia Live.
So, hey, my man, you're not observing? So we are here.
All right, keep following us. We are already here in the compounds of the NEC, and as you can see, the political leader of the Liberty Party, Madam Yomli Kanga Lawrence, is just before our camera, and she's been ushered in to present another petition from this end. And so you can stay with us, rely on us, we are on top of it. Keep watching the US-based Focus on Liberia online television network.
The National Election Commission, Madam Director Brown, she's the chairperson of the commission. And it's a wonderful woman to watch. Side versus yeah.
All the commissioners and the chairperson here too? Okay, everybody. Yeah, all our people walking up to them. Okay, so that got closer. Don't matter who that got closer. That got closer to the
Madam Chairperson and members of the Board of Commissioners of the National Elections Mission, this is Liberty Party's position statement presented to members of the international community of the direction of protocols retorted wise that we will not keep you in the dark with respect to what we have submitted or are about to submit to the international community. And so we thought it wise to come here today in demonstration of our rights enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia to present a copy of the position statement that we have presented to the international community. We believe today that this is a day that symbolizes the flowing down the spring, the valley of deep waters, the valley that symbolizes a reminder of the quest of the Liberian populace and of the international community that democracy and its attending tenets remain the only viable instruments to secure peace in our own world. So this statement is Liberty Party position to the international community regarding the National Elections Commission's interference with its intra-party conflict, in particular, and the mismanagement of the electoral process by this election commission in general. This was presented to the United Nations Resident Coordinator, the head of the African Union to Liberia, Ambassador of the United States of America, His Excellency Michael McCarthy, the head of the European Union delegation to Liberia, and Her Excellency Ambassador Josephine Nkrumah, Ambassador of ECOWAS to Liberia. Your Excellencies, permit me on behalf of the Liberty Party and Liberian people to present heartfelt felicitations to your respected government and people for the enormous contributions you continue to make in the growth of our nascent democracy. It is this unwavering support that enables our country to have had 3 cycles of presidential and legislative election, 2005, 2011, and 2017. Coming out of the ashes of a senseless civil war that decimated our population, taking away more than 250,000 of the lives of our fellow compatriots. The stakes in the 2023 presidential and legislative elections will never be higher. This is why we in Liberty Party, in particular in the Liberian nation in general, are very circumspect about the conduct of individuals who are charged with the responsibility of supervising the elections. This brings us to the electoral management by the EMB, which is charged with the responsibility of conducting said election in an impartial and independent manner. The Liberty Party has had a close engagement with the NEC Board of Commissioners during the course of our intra-party conflict. Over this period, we have seen how the NEC has relegated its non-partisan role to that of a partisan institution that proceeds to embolden the conflict within Liberty Party. For the purpose of this statement, we are pleased to mention the following key issues. 1. The revised guidelines of the Election Commission, Section 3.4, provide that following a parties convention, the records of the proceeding must be submitted by the chairperson or presiding officer of the convention and secretary. Contrary to this, in the aftermath of the Liberia Party 2021 convention, it was a newly elected and Secretary General who took upon themselves to submit the records after concealing the final records, including the amended constitution and the minutes of the convention, from the political leader. The submission was made on February 26, 2021, as it later came to be known by the political leader in subsequent time. 2. Not only did the two elected officers secretly submit the documents with all the knowledge of the political leader or the presiding officer as enshrined in our Constitution, but it also proceeded to alter provisions relating to the power relation between the political leader and the National Executive Committee. The political leader accordingly informed the National Election Commission that the documents for the convention were submitted outside the Commission's revised guidelines and the provisions approved by delegates have been altered, thus necessitating a retrieval for correction. The NEC rejected such a request, insisting that it could not return the document until properly challenged. 3. The NEC went further to amend it that the Liberia Party should proceed to make use of its internal mechanism to resolve the situation. This prompted a meeting of the two conflicting parties held at the Farmington Hotel on October 2, 2021, where it was acknowledged upon a review of the convention records that indeed provisions have been changed. The two parties thus signed a memorandum of understanding in which they expressly agreed to withdraw and correct the altered constitution. 4. Even though the Farmington MOU, along with the report of the National Advisory Council on the whose authority the meeting was held, was submitted to the authority of NEC, the Election Management Body has retained its recalcitrance to honor the document. 5. As if the action of the NEC was not sufficient to draw a dim view of its image to the public, the NEC, through one of its commissioners, Madam Tipler Reed, issued a communication with Mr. Musa Hassan Militant, the chairman whose conduct was under question as a result of alteration of the Constitution, to proceed with a bogus convention using the very Constitution whose provision he had altered. 6. In the aftermath of this, and in further attempt to promote the intra-party conflict, the NEC and Mr. Militant initiated action to organize yet another convention where a new political leader was supposed to be elected. Upon seeing notice of said convention, we filed to the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia a writ of prohibition to prevent the occurrence of the exercise. This necessitated two conferences with the Justice in Chamber of Honor James Eto Howard Wilcolly and the current Chief Justice of Honor Sia Yene Wood. It will interest you to know that during these two conferences, the lawyer of the National Election Commission, His Honor, former Chief Justice Walking Right, was present. 7. The Supreme Court mandated that, as agreed in the Farmington MOU, both parties were under obligation to recall and correct the altered Constitution. In fulfillment of a determination to bring the matter to a close, the court subsequently made available its library for the parties to converge and correct the Constitution, which was done without any hindrance. 8. As a final stage of the exercise, the corrected version of the Constitution was immediately submitted to NEC on July 11, 2022. We believe this effort are effectively brought to a close. The long-running intra-party conflict. Unfortunately, the NEC again refused to lock the instrument, thereby enabling his ability to arrogate to himself powers that he does not have under the Constitution. 9. Further to the issues is the chairperson demonstrated conflict of interest exhibited during a corruption case with the government of Liberia, while the resolution of the Liberty Party case remains mocked at the NEC. She turned to Mr. Musa Hassan Belete, a party to the inter-party conflict, to secure a bond for her in the said case. But that was not the only exhibition of conflict of interest. Every time the indicted NEC boss went to the court, it was Mr. Belete who escorted her. How in this world do a serious integrity institution conduct itself in such an unprofessional manner? Your Excellencies, attached to this statement are records from the side of the political leader of the Liberty Party for your perusal. In all of this, we believe the NEC is being used by hidden hands. Clearly, the ruling party from which it received instructions to preside over the systematic disintegration of Liberty Party. And we are not prepared to see this happen. Ladies and gentlemen, even as we focus on these repugnant attitudes of NEC toward Liberty Party, we feel compelled to mention the potentially crippling effects of the actions of the chairperson, Madam Deliata Brown Lasana, and her board of commissioners on the General State of Elections Commission as an integrity institution. We know that it is not necessarily what happens on election day that characterizes the result as being credible or fraudulent. The processes that precede the electoral cycle are instructive of what the outcome should be. We have observed from a litany of events at the National Election Commission that Liberia could be headed for trouble should the Commission remain as is presently composed, ranging from a role in the procurement of 20 thermometers with a price tag of $9,166 per piece, which is in reality of value at US $500 per unit. The current procurement process for the biometric materials that is endangering the conduct of the 2023 elections, we are witnessing a clear lack of direction for the democratic process. Of concern also is the conflict of interest that was associated with that deal. The NEC boss chose her close biological brother, who is the CEO of the IT firm known as Tuma Enterprise, to execute that contract. If these are not visible indications, somebody presiding over an integrity institution, but who does not have the pedigree of integrity, these are not visible signs of a troubling situation. I don't know what else to do. Given the foregoing, we hereby recommend the following the members of the international community who have invested so much in helping Liberia transit to the theater of conflict, to the platform of peace, justice, and equality in our land. Recommendation 1. It is clear that the NEC is the principal enabler of the negative actions of disability in this ongoing intra-party conflict. Request, Your Excellencies, to exert all influence at your disposal on the NEC to have a law without delay corrected version of the Liberty Party Constitution. This will, in effect, bring to a close the question of what is Liberty Party, because the Constitution is very clear on this matter. 2. In consideration of the corrupt nature of the chairperson of NEC, she should step down as head of NEC in order to restore confidence in the convention. Her retention as chair will be a bar omen for free, fair, and credible elections, credible presidential election in 2023. 3. Now, due to the incompetency of the Board of Commissioners that they have accepted on loan in the ruling party affiliation, 5 counterpart commissioners composed of electoral experts from ECOWAS, the African Union, and the United Nations be established to jointly conduct the 2023 presidential and legislative elections to prevent the country from running chaos. 4. That you assist Liberia with international IT experts to be assigned jointly to jointly operate the data section. It's very crucial. In conjunction with the NEC data team to avoid fraud that was associated with the 2017 voter registration process. 5. The biometric voter registration gadgetry should be procured by Liberia's international partner, principally the UNDP, and the software remains in their care to ensure fair play for all. And 6. Finally, we appeal to ECOWAS and the United Nations to send a technical electoral team to assess the situation at NEC and for the preparedness for the conduct of the 2023 presidential and legislative election. Dawn in the city of Monrovia, this 28th day of October 2022. Signed on behalf of the thousands of partisans of the Liberia Party. Senator Yobli Conrad Lawrence, recognized as the leader of our party. Thank you. This stage, I will invite the Monserrado County Senator of Liberty Party, the Honorable Reverend Darren Law, to make the submission to the national election.
Thank you. Thank you. As Vice Chair for Political Affairs Liberty Party, we will present this petition submitted to the Election Commission representing our views, our position as a party. As we speak, this Election Commission has logged 3 different versions of the Constitution deposited by Mr. Musa, on which the Election Commission is acting. Contrary to what our Constitution should be in keeping with what we all agree at the Supreme Court. They are all contained in this document. And as though the Election Commission has not seen this dossier of all of the evidence, including the Farmington MOU, letters of complaints that have been ignored deliberately by this commission, we have compiled them into a dossier to submit again to the electoral body. We have already done so with our international partners. We saw a press release purportedly from the commission yesterday acknowledging that in October 3, complaint filed by the political leader of the Liberty Party will be heard. We saw it as an attempt to water down what is happening today. That the commission will even acknowledge on the 27th of October a complaint filed since the 10th of October said a lot about the competence and the partiality of this commission. And so before the broad media, before the world, we are depositing our petition that was submitted to the international panel, accompanied by all the documents we have submitted before this commission that have been ignored, that has gone on to this place. We want to make it clear, the Election Commission cannot determine who officers of a political party are. The Election Commission has the authority to observe, and regulate, and every institution must operate within the confines of their own law. The electoral commission cannot make law for a party, should not be seen attempting to do so. We're here today present all of this to the chair, Madam David Brown, our petition to the international community, and the dossier of documents that we have submitted repeatedly before this commission, bringing the inter-party issue and Liberty Party. Please be a fair, impartial referee. We can solve this problem if you just be referee and not be a player as we view to be already. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, you're listening to Senator Abraham Darius Dillon, I beg your pardon, and earlier was the Secretary General of the Yomli Kanga version of the Liberty Party in Jacob Smith. And so the petition was presented before the National Elections Commission, specifically the chair of the commission, Madam David Brown Lasana. And we are still here providing you coverage of this event. You're watching the US-based Focus on Liberia online television. You can rely on us for the very best in terms of accurate, balanced, and credible news and information. Well, according to the petition statement, just read a portion of it, or key among some of the counts was the call for the resignation of the head of this commission, Madam David Brown Lasana, and also the call for a complete overhaul of the RT system here at the NEC.
Yeah, ensure that you give them coverage. Give them coverage immediately. être brand la Sénégal, maman papa, à ce moment, qui a une bonne beauté, la Election Commission devait être brand la Sénégal, avez-vous? La dit avant bloqué, la dit avant bloqué, nous avons bien moyen bosser là, nous avons bien moyen bosser là, la bonne beauté, qui devait être brand la Sénégal, maman papa.
What are you saying, Bassa?
Today, we come to tell the people that we don't trust the Brand Lasana.
Why?
We don't trust the Brand Lasana. She's a corrupt woman. She is equal. We want the woman can now get out to 2023 election. She has been compromised. So we are telling the president of the country that she needs to go. She has to come and example. And the election commission is credible. What is doing Musa Belete? If you can solve the Liberty Party problem, you trust that we want to solve the problem tomorrow in 2023? The woman is compromised. The woman is corrupt. So election found against now election day.
Don't you think there's a need to hold on since the fact you presented your petition to the NEC?
That's why we tell the NEC now that she need to go. Tomorrow there will be no transparent election. The woman, she gave us $100,000 in US salary. Her name is in all the corruption area there. She went to court and Musa Belete stay on board. So what will go to the country? As an election commission, you should be neutral. So we are telling them, because tomorrow, 2023, we are listening to nobody. We're ready to die for this struggle. We are ready to die for this struggle. And we tell the president, we are a child stealer. We tell the president, we are a son that can't go. We tell the president, we are a son that can't go. All power belongs to the people. We got the power. So enough is enough.
And so you are still watching the US-based Focus on Liberia Online television network. We are in the heat of it. Somebody will say we are in the thick of things. Here at the headquarters of the National Elections Commission in Sinka, 9th Street specifically. And you follow the presentation ceremony that ended minutes ago. The Secretary General of the Yumli Kanga version of the Liberty Party, in Jacob Smith, presented the petition to the head of the National Elections Commission and Court of Commissioners, and it was well received. And so, according to what we've gathered so far, the group will now proceed to the 1 UN house, just along this corridor. And so you can stay with us for the very best as we bring you this all-important coverage. This is the independent US-based Focus on Liberia Online television network. Scores of partisans of the opposition Liberty Party, the Yumli Kanga side of it, if I will pull it that way, are out presenting petition to all of the diplomatic missions in country, as well as the body responsible to conduct free, fair, and transparent elections in this country, that is the National Elections Commission. And so we will be winding down very shortly to proceed at the 1 UN house, where another petition will be presented. And so you can stay with us, rely on us for the very best. let me just give you one quick observation in terms of security. All I can say to you is that security is in tight. Partisans of the Liberty Party, as well as officials of the party, were all given maximum protection. The police is on top of it. The riot police are on top of this event, making sure to protect all sides. And so that is good. I just thought to point out that quick observation to you, our many viewers. As you can see, the guys are dressed up in their regalia, making sure that this goes on peacefully. And so, like I told you folks, we will proceed to the one UN house where another petition will be presented according to what we've gathered. And so we will make our way there very shortly, just to have you informed, just to bring you up to speed as per happenings here today. Senator Abraham Darrell Dillon in the midst of Sarah Partisans.
As you want for us to join them to EU and UN1, right at the plaza. So, the men said they're going to one
And so folks, we want to leave you at this point. We want to leave at this point to join you or rejoin you. And so, for and on behalf of the team, our hard-working CEO, Mr. Dennis Jar, who is in Atlanta, Georgia, the USA, our head of operations, also this year, and all members of the Focus on Liberia team. My name is Theo Williams, bidding you farewell for now from the headquarters of the National Elections Commission.